let's go a little bit slower. A little bit slower. You might say I'm shining with a flare. Shining with a flare. Shining like a flare. Shining like a flare of the night. A flare of the flare of the night. Shining like a flare. Shining like a fiery flare. Just waiting to be connected with the love tonight. I'm shining like a flare. I'm shining like a flare of the night. I'm shining like a flare of the night, of this night, from this afternoon night, of the night, of this night, of the night, of the unknown night, of the night, of the shining of the flare, the shining of the flare. I'm shining with shining like wings, shining like wings, shining like wings that are bright as light tonight. Bright as light tonight. You might say I'm shining like a shining flare, shining of a flare, shining of a flare, shining of a flare. Shining of a flare, shining of a flare, shining of a darkness flare, of a bright of a flare, of a brightness of a flare, shining 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 of a flare, shine like a flare, shine like a flare, shine like an unknown love of a flare, shining like an unknown love of a flare, a fiery flare of the night, a fiery flare of this night, to be continued tonight.